Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. Right now, we're diving into something that is literally shaking up the automotive industry as we know it. We're talking about MG's incredibly ambitious strategy to completely disrupt the European compact EV market. It's called the MGZR concept. We're going to break this whole shebang down into three main pillars: its heart, its brain, and its wallet. Stick with me here, because by the end of this, you're going to see exactly why this isn't just another run-of-the-mill car announcement. It's a massive shift in how we think about compact electric mobility. Let's get right into it.
So here's the question for you. Can an affordable EV actually be exciting? For a long time, the industry has kind of trained us to believe that compact, budget-friendly electric cars, well, they just have to be boring, everyday appliances. People treat them like white goods, like a toaster or a washing machine on wheels. Basically meant to get you from point A to point B with absolute zero personality. But MG is directly challenging that. They are out to prove that affordability and sheer unadulterated driving excitement absolutely can and should coexist in the exact same vehicle.
Which brings us to Section 1, the heart, a retrofuturistic design.
Now, when we hear the word concept in the car world, we usually think of some wild sci-fi fever dream that's never going to see a real road, right? But that is definitely not the case here. This concept was revealed in 2026 at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, and just 1 year later, in 2027, we're expecting the actual production model, a car a lot of industry insiders are already calling the MG2. This is a direct, real-world preview of a car hitting the streets next year. It's real, and it's right around the corner.
This whole vision was born at the MG Design Center over in London, led by director Carl Gotham. Their guiding principle was crystal clear. Rather than simply serving as another electric commuter, basically, the design team wasn't just checking off boxes for aerodynamics or where to shove the battery. Their specific overarching goal was to build a compact hatchback that actually sparks a genuine emotional connection. They wanted to bring back that fun, playful spirit that's been part of MG's DNA for decades. It's supposed to be approachable, sporty, and just genuinely fun to own.
And you can totally see how this translates into the physical design. Looking at their inspirations, you have MG's incredible 100-year British heritage, but instead of just copy-pasting the past, the designers looked at absolute icons. We're talking the MGB GT, the MG Metro Turbo, the MGZR. Then, looking at the modern outcomes, you see those historic concepts completely reimagined for today's drivers and wrapped up into this snappy 4-meter urban vehicle. The result? These beautifully clean, smooth body lines, massive sporty wheels, a really confident stance, and a super aggressive rear diffuser. It is this brilliant cocktail of classic character and cutting-edge design that just pops in a crowded market.
Moving on to Section 2, the brain, the solid-core battery revolution. So, the outside looks fantastic, sure, but what is happening underneath the floorboards is a literal quantum leap in automotive tech. MG is stepping up as the very first global manufacturer to bring mass production of semi-solid-state batteries to the European market. And let's really emphasize those two words, mass production. This shows incredible industrial maturity. They aren't just tinkering with this in a lab somewhere or hoarding it for a handful of million-dollar hypercars. They are industrializing highly complex technology that most of their major competitors are still just experimenting with behind closed doors. It's a real game changer.
To really get why this is such a revolution, we need a super quick chemistry lesson. If we look at a simplified breakdown of a traditional lithium-ion battery, the kind powering pretty much every EV on the road today, they rely on about 20% liquid electrolytes. Now that liquid is absolutely crucial for moving energy around, but it also comes with some pretty hefty baggage when it comes to temperature sensitivity and overall chemical stability.
But let's look at the makeup of MG's new solid-core semi-solid battery. They've slashed that liquid electrolyte down to just 5%. The rest of that space has been swapped out for highly advanced solid materials. It might sound like a minor tweak, but honestly, this shift represents a monumental leap in how the battery actually performs in the real world.
So what does a battery with only 5% liquid actually mean for you when you're behind the wheel? Well, it translates to 4 massive consumer benefits. First up is high safety, which is so huge we'll dig into it in just a second. Second is winter performance. Less liquid means less sluggishness in freezing temperatures, so this battery keeps its efficiency in the cold, giving you reliable range all winter long. Third is ultra-fast charging. This advanced chemistry lets the car charge to 80% in under 20 to 30 minutes in optimal conditions. And fourth, longevity. Those solid materials give it way better chemical stability, meaning the battery loses far less capacity over time. That preserves the resale value of your car for years to come. Basically, it means way less travel stress and a whole lot more peace of mind.
I want to hit pause for a second on that first point about safety, because it is absolutely vital. In standard batteries with a lot of liquid, there's this risk of something called thermal runaway. Basically, if a cell gets damaged or severely overheated, it can trigger a nasty chain reaction of extreme heat and, in rare cases, even fire. But by stripping out most of that flammable liquid and using a much more stable solid structure, solid core drastically reduces this risk. It is a phenomenal safety upgrade that fundamentally rewrites the risk profile of owning an EV.
All right, on to Section 3, the wallet, accessibility, and European focus.
So, we've covered the gorgeous retrofuturistic heart and the brilliant semi-solid brain. But how does this top-tier tech actually make it to your driveway without requiring a second mortgage? Well, before we talk hard numbers, we have to talk about market commitment. MG has set up a brand new engineering center in Germany, specifically to tailor these vehicles for European tastes, European roads, and what European consumers actually need. Riding high on the massive success of their hybrid range, MG is proving they have the scale and the quality control to go toe-to-toe with historic European and Asian brands. They are putting localization and quality front and center.
And here is the kicker, the price. Less than 25,000 euros. Yep, you heard that right. That is the estimated starting price for the production model. And frankly, it is true market disruption. When you take a custom, retro-futuristic design born in London, pair it with revolutionary semi-solid battery tech that the competition is still scratching their heads over, and then fine-tune the suspension in Germany, to offer the whole package for under 25,000 euros is just staggering. It makes genuinely advanced technology accessible to a massively wide audience.
So, to wrap up the core ethos of this whole MG Go concept, whoever ends up buying the future production version of this car isn't just buying a city appliance. No way. They are getting a technologically advanced, incredibly distinctive Segment B EV. It brilliantly ties together the heritage-inspired design from Carl Gotham's team with the cutting-edge reality of the solid-core battery. It completely redefines what affordable electric driving looks and feels like. And that brings us to our final provocative thought for today's explainer. If MG can take the spirit of something like the classic MGB GT and fuse it with semi-solid battery tech for the modern era, what classic car design would you want to see reimagined with solid-core technology? Let that simmer for a bit. I want to explicitly thank you, our incredible listeners, for your valuable time and attention today. We honestly never take it for granted, and we absolutely love bringing these structured deep dives to you. If you found this explainer valuable and you want to support the work we do breaking down these complex topics, there's a link in the description where you can buy a coffee for your host. It really helps keep the energy high and the explainers coming. Thanks for learning with me today, and I'll catch you on the next one.